Hello, this is Coach Z with Mind at Work. Mind at Work is your podcast that explores the intersection between psychology, work at large, financial well-being, physical well-being, and mental well-being. We explore in this episode if your education is failing you, if by being so well educated it making you not reach your goals, who has reached all his goals. No, we always have new goals and more goals, but you need massive amount of success to be successful. You need to keep being successful, to have goals, to refine goals. Sometimes you want something, you reach them, you see, no, this doesn't worth it. I want something else, I want more, and so on. And how do you get them? How do you get them? How's your education making you not get there? This is what we're going to see. Let's start by seeing. Yes, we start by seeing about the education system. Then we will also see for what the system is educating you and what are the results and what can you do about it. So let's start by the education system. The education system gives in most countries a compulsory education from the age 4, 5 to 15, 16. Some countries even go to less than that. They go to age 2. Yes, some countries go to age 2 up to 15, 16. That means at least 10 years of formal education, compulsory education. What for? Why do they do this? This makes the education system has a set of behaviors and knowledge that's standardized, and they want every citizen to go through this. This is brainwashing. Yes, normal education is brainwashing. If everyone go through it, they have a set of citizens. They know who they are. They know because they made them. They know who they are. They know how to manage them and make them what they want to be. So the education system is designed by those who did it for their purpose. I'm not saying it's negative necessarily. It may be of the best intention, but it is to make the society work the way they want it to work. And when they're successful, they have the citizen they want. But still, even in the most successful systems, you see something that make you think. How can you see that in some countries that are very developed, you have some people who have a job, and then they commit suicide? You have some people, the system make them, they go to the army, they fight some wars, and they come back, they are completely out of the society because of the consequences of that. How can you see the system that has some people who are hyper rich, some people are hyper poor in the same system? The system makes us promise us one thing is you're going to have a job. If you go through the system rewards you for doing well what they give you to do. So if you work well, you get your degree or whatever they call it, then you get a job, and that's what the system is designed to do, getting a job, and a good job. And what a good job. Being a CEO, is that a good job? Being a general, a colonel, that's a good job. Being a professor at university, is that a good job? Or being a judge, a lawyer, a doctor, medical doctor, are these the good jobs? I'm citing this because when these are the jobs where the system, you have to go through the system and be successful. The part of it, not only them, it can be an engineer or whatever, but it is the system has to validate you before you can have this these jobs. This is why I'm studying them. But still, when you look at people doing these jobs, you can be a professor at university, a wonderful mathematics professor, very well known, and sick. You can be a general of an army and you can be a nasty person. You can be a medical doctor who is using his wonderful knowledge not to treat but to look for more money, even if that means kill. So, how do we have a system that can make itself work wonderfully but at the same time fail individuals? That make us think. Is the system able to give us the entire education we want, or is the system able to give us the amount of things, the different things we want? I don't believe at this stage of the conception of the education system, the way we have them in our countries, we have all it takes to be a whole person. Because the system at this point has the teachers they have the conceptors they have the education system they have, and they're working with them. In general, when you look at it, you have the African countries that have copied from European countries, and these countries also have their own problem. When I say European, let's say Western. You have the Western leading the systems, you have the Western part of the world that leads the education systems, and you have the pale copies in the non-developed countries, the developing countries. That makes even the top of the top are failing. How can you consider the bottom one? Yes, the top of the top are failing. How many people came from the best universities? They're still failure in some aspect of their life. You don't have the holistic view of the person. It is not by nature of this system. You have a fragmentation of the knowledge. When you're learning to become a chemist, or you're learning to become a mathematician, the higher you go, the more the more narrow your focus becomes, so that you can dig further. And that takes the more you go, the farther you go from the others. So that means you can be an excellent medical doctor but failure in your personal finance, or you can be an excellent general failing your family. So it is not holistic. Is that a problem? It is a problem, because you can imagine that you have people who are just spare parts of the society. If this is so, if the society make you become a spare part of it, you should not make yourself like this. Because the first thing is, you see those who are successful, validated, get through the system and get rewarded, and those who fail right away go to the bottom. And more, those who are rewarded, and when the system no more want them, they just drop them. How many people you will see who went to the top of something, and then the system no more wanted them, and they dropped them. Either because they start perceiving something different from the perception of the system, so the system dropped them, or they're no more useful. The system has decided to look at things in another direction, and so their perspective is no more the one that's required or wanted by the system, and the system drops them literally. Why? Because it is just a system that's working. But as an individual, as an individual, can you have a system working very well with individuals who are miserable? Unfortunately, it is possible, because when the system is conceived as a machine, you can have a company working as a machine. Some people doing routine tasks all day long. They're producing. The company is working because it's reaching its financial targets, production targets, and so on. It's reaching its target, but people at the same time are dying. investors are earning, people are dying. You get it. You get it. What you have in some system, even today, is slavery, literally slavery. How do you get a system where we have so much knowledge, so much education, and we have slavery at the same time? And slavery is not only for those who are uneducated. You have people who are so entangled in the system that they are slave of the system. No matter the IQ or the degrees, they slave of the system, and they can't even afford to think outside of the system. They are in the system, and that's the thing you have to think of, just to know if this is really serving you as a human being. Think of it as an adult, and when you think of it, you will realize that the thing you need is a holistic aspect of you: health, wealth, happiness, relationship, contribution to society, contribution to the next generation, contribution to the world, and so on. You're not going to spend your days working for a salary. You're not going to spend your day. I'm not saying you should not work for a salary. I'm just saying it won't be the only purpose. And you know that a salary is just a salary. You just know that the job is a job, whatever it is, whatever they pay you, a job is a job. And you know that they're paying you because they need you. It's they need you. If they no more need you, they'll fire you. You no more be a part of this payroll. So why do you think that? If it was true, it would be that, okay, your life is your job, then your job will never live your life as far as it is existing. But your job can just live your life. So your life has to be linked to something different from your job, because it is actually linked to different things. You can walk only on one foot. Understand that? If you understand that, get back to this to look at the school system. Understand that the school system trains people for what they want by putting everyone in the same system, in the same curriculum. They're producing people who think more or less the same thing, do the same thing, and you look at the world the same way. This is too restrictive, it's too narrow for you. You need freedom. To get that freedom, what you need to do, it is to step back and look at things. Look at yourself as an individual. Learn to know yourself as an individual. Learn to know that you were born free. Learn to know that the freedom you have, you only give it to someone. No one can enslave you. Know that to get that, you have to have the awareness of yourself, of who you are, and take the things from a holistic perspective. When you take that, you know that you can take care of your health, you can take care of how you earn, you can take care of how you take care of the other people, to manage your relation to other people, to contribute to this world, to contribute to yourself and to others. So one thing comes is you realize that everything comes from you and comes back to you. It's about you. It's not about the other people. You don't need to go to war. I will never go to war. You don't need to go to war. You don't need to enter in conflict with different people. You just need to work on you. How do you work on you? You work on your mindset. How do you perceive things? How do you conceive things? What's your inner talk? How do you do this? All this arranged to be consistent with what you want to be as a person. So how do you get that? Explore, get to know things, and then you will know more what you can want. And then doing that, you can build yourself in a more whole person, instead of living the things from the education system. Because when the education system takes you, molds you in a certain way, give you to a company that molds you in a certain way. You even see people who identify themselves with their company. They think that they are their company. No, you're just sitting on one post that can be cancelled anytime. So why do you think you restricting your life? You are making your life so restrictive that's miserable, whatever the amount of salary you're being given. It's too restrictive, and it cannot be what you are. You are not that. You are necessarily more than that. You are necessarily more than than that. So, as an adult, when you realize that it's like a game and you understand the rules and you can step back and think and take charge. And when you take charge, you see the freedom you get. You become very free. You become free inside out. And that freedom, it is so that no one can enslave you. No one can enslave you because you are so free. This is why the system has to train people not to be that free. Because some people in their own conception, they need some slaves. They will not get their slaves if people were educated to be free. And they are scared of people being free. So, you want to please them? Follow the system, follow the education system, get your degrees, go into a company, read the rules and respect, be there for your life. If you're lucky, you go to retirement. If you're not lucky, it will drop you at any time if you're no more in the sense they want. Because this is what the system does. The system starts by training all people to work in a certain way. Those who are successful in doing what they want, they award them, and you're lucky, you get a job, you get awarded, and so on. You can grow. You can go in the ladder. You can go in the ladder, climb the ladder up to a certain level, and then if the system no more needs you, they drop you. Or if you become too free in your mind, they can drop you also. Or if your perspective is no more the perspective the system wants, they can drop you also. So you have to understand that. And those who did not respect what the system wanted, they were dropped. They were dropped. They're not. You're not going to become a medical doctor if you were not validated by the system. You're not going to become professor at university. You're not validated by the system at each stage to reach that point. So the system awards you, but it doesn't guarantee you anything personal. No. I'm not saying you become failure by being a doctor, failure by being a professor at university. I'm saying this will not make you a whole successful person in terms of what a human can be, your potentiality in terms of what you can be with this mind of yours, which is absolutely great. And you even don't realize that it is by living this greatness that you enslave yourself, and you can see slaves everywhere, whatever the money they earn, whatever the money, the degree they have, or the level of education they have. You can see the slavery. You can see how they are so entangled in this. They are so entangled in the system that they cannot think outside of the system. And it's too narrow, it's too restrictive. Some will have the wake-up call if the system drops them. Some can have the wake-up call when it's too late. But it's good to have it in mind as adults and start by not only changing ourselves in this freedom, and also for the youngers to go with the youngers to start making them freeing them from all this, making them explore, making them discover, making them know that what they have in their mind, what the mind is, this wonderful thing is, on which things are impressed, and the brainwash that is done to make you in a certain person. You should be aware of it, and also be aware of the fact that your freedom depends on you. And complaining about the Western countries, the rich countries, the white, the green, this enslaving this, it's a good battle, but don't take me there, because I believe that you can only be enslaved if mentally they manage to enslave you, so that your freedom comes to you. You're not going to ask them to stop doing what they're doing, because they can only do it if you want them and you accept them to do it. So how do you take the best of the education system and then make yourself a whole person. Whether you are successful in the education system or not, it's not a problem. If you're successful in it and they give you something that's something that are positive and you can make the best of them, go ahead. But if you are not successful in this education system and you don't have to regret to start thinking of why you were not and so on. What you do is what you want, and you can still make the best of this world, because as I said in the beginning, in this podcast, what you're doing will making you get to your goal is only one thing: your mindset. Your mindset, that means if you set yourself on what you want, you're going to get it. Let's get back to the education system and know that it is a system that's training people for what they want. Now, what do you want? And understand that it's like a play. So the structure of the play, if you want to play handball, you have a certain number of players, there's a certain number of rules and so on. In the other part, they're playing soccer, it's different. In the other part, they're playing basketball, the rules are different, things are different. So different countries, different part of the world, different things. Where are you? So wherever you are, you have to make a decision of what you want, and then you understand that, oh, this is how they play, and you understand what you want, and you can navigate it and get to what you want. Get the younger start that thinking. Why do you need to make them start that thinking? Because when people are very entangled in it, they either don't even see that there is another world, or they're scared of even thinking alone. They're scared of thinking outside of this box, because the brainwashing has been so much. Imagine that the best first years. Now even you have people of our life, we go there, we go to that system. Now you even have people start from month of age. They start being in the system until nursery, primary school, secondary school, university, end to end. They are being brainwashed by the system, and they only think that. So they don't even imagine, they can't imagine that there is something outside of it. So when you start talking to them, they're so sure of that they cannot even listen until something happens, until the system they put all their hope on drops them. Because as I said previously, when you reach a point where the system doesn't want you, it can drop you anytime, and that's it. Life continues. And if the system's life continues, your life should continue. It should not stop. That means you should be able to rearrange yourself. Why not start early to see that what you're doing, you're just doing it, you're contributing to this system or to this company, giving you in exchange money, and how are you making your life? Or you're rendering services, you're getting back something in return, and your existence is not destructive to other people, because it is how you perceive the world that makes you do this. The system makes some people think that they need to destroy other people so that they can be happy. Their wealth depends on destroying other people. So it is that way they conceive. If you have a company that's conceive itself as killing the client. Yes, we do have some companies that have product that kills. They know that it kills, but it makes them money. Don't talk about it, and everyone is happy. Yes, the users don't know ignorance. They're killing themselves. Sometimes they know, but they become so addictive that they still continue killing themselves. The producers, the manufacturers know that they're killing them, and they continue because they're earning. How can you have a system that can be better by the individuals? If the individuals go in the direction they can go, and they can go in any direction. the smartness, the intelligence they have, can think things in a destructive way, a very destructive way. The same intelligence can think things in a very constructive way. What makes it the mindset that gives you the wisdom you have to make this intelligence in a constructive way. This comes from education, and the education system are failing this. They're failing this. The result is what we see. If we will have a better and a more harmonious world, if every individual has in itself that positive aspect of seeing things. It's not hopeless. It starts with you. If you start it, you transmit it to the next generation, you transmit it to other people, they would understand that, oh, it just takes my mindset to be successful without having to make war with anyone. Is it all? So things can go better without changing the people, the other people. By changing me alone, things can go better, if you know that. And by the way, the only thing you can change is you. So if from young age people start learning this, or as an adult you start it, and if you want to start now. Start by asking you the right questions. Is the life meant to be a burden, or it can be softly lived and enjoyable? You'll find the right questions. Believe that it can be good, and it is good, because everything comes from your mind. If you take in your mind that it is bad, you convince yourself it is bad, it is bad. If you convince yourself it is good, you can make it good. So convince yourself that it is good and you will make it good. Come back for more episodes and we'll explore different aspects, how psychology really takes you in the financial well-being, in the physical well-being, and in the mental well-being. Other aspects of life are also impacted by psychology, and it's a choice to do that only. But when you start improving one aspect, it just goes to the other aspects.